You know, and get them in the hunt a little bit.
You were cutting hair in Cuba and in Florida?
Healthcare was satisfying. It didn't have the excitement that this had.
She's an absolute dream.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Paquette, the track announcer at Parks Racing, joined by the PTHA's Chris Griffin, and welcome to On the Rail. We had so much fun putting together our inaugural show last month. Here we are doing it again.
Yeah, look at us. I mean, show number 2 and coming your way. And it's weird sitting down though. I mean, we're usually up and mobile. Didn't you run a marathon or something like that? You're always running around.
I had a casual small run a couple of weeks ago, but it's nice to keep us all in one place. We've been very busy putting together a really exciting show.
Yeah, staying mobile and making sure that we get in touch with the trainers, jockeys, all the connections out there. What did the people have to expect on today's show?
There's a lot to look forward to. We have an interview with trainer Tim Shaw. We mic up Butch Reed. We also go get a haircut with Andy Hernandez, and we learn about the important job of an equine dentist.
So much fun coming your way, and I think we're going to kick things off right now with your interview. You got a chance to catch up with trainer Tim Shaw on the backside right here at Parks. Let's check it out.
Hi everyone, Jessica Paquette joined here with trainer Tim Shaw, and let's take a look back. How long have you been training horses, and what brought you to the racetrack in the first place?
Since around 2001. I went to Monmouth Park with some friends one day, way long ago. Just had a wonderful day, and I really kind of just enjoyed everything about it. Went back next week, and there was this chestnut mare named YB Normal. I swear to God, that was her name. Met the trainer on the way after he saddled the horse, Dan Pearlswig. He said, hey, if she wins, do you want to come in the winner's circle? And I said, well, sure. Of course she won. So then he says, hey, do you want to come back to the barn tomorrow morning and hang out? And I said, well, sure. And I got up early that morning, and it was the most beautiful pink salmon sky you have ever seen. And it was nice and chilly, and all these guys were drinking coffee and laughing and talking about horses, and I'm watching horses train, and I said, how long's this been going on? And at the time I was working in healthcare, it didn't have the excitement that this had. So I just started hanging around a little bit more, 1 day a week, 2 days a week, claimed my own horse, and the rest is history.
So you didn't really have horses in your family. Did you really know anything about horses prior to when you started training them?
I didn't realize how little I knew when I claimed my first horse. He was a horse named Night Reader, and he taught me everything. He taught me how to not put on a bandage. He taught me how to not put on a bridle, and it was a bit of a trial by error. I didn't have a trainer's license. You know, I was working, for some people at Monmouth, and I was the licensed owner, but I took care of them. And they were watching what I was doing, but they let me make mistakes. Wound up one wonderful winter at Gulfstream Park. People warned me that it wasn't easy and I should stay where I was. As hard as racing is, I do love it, yeah, but it will knock you down consistently.
On a bright note, tell me about your first winner.
My first winner was Night Reader, and it was right here at Philadelphia Park, Nick Santagata, and he won by 12 3/4 lengths. And I wasn't here. A friend of mine was on a business trip to California and said, do you want to go and we'll play golf? And it was a hard decision. But we were in a bar and we watched that race, and I don't really remember a whole lot about the rest of the day.
So tell me your most memorable win.
Well, we had a mare named Charming Megan, and we claimed her for $5,000. We kind of gave her the winter off. She was a Jersey bred. And then she went on a string of 7 wins the next summer. She won 7 out of 14 starts at Monmouth. And Haskell Day, we put her in an allowance race for those inflated purses. And we had all our friends there, and it was when she turned for home and I thought she had a shot. I mean, it was so gratifying to take her from where she was to win a nice allowance race and the year that she had.
Now, with all of the experience now behind you and everything horses have taught you, what's your philosophy as a trainer?
You feed the horse before you feed yourself, before you get the new car, because they're everything. Everything that you can give them to make them happy. I mean, they're here and they're relying on you and you alone to do the right thing by them. So you're always looking if a horse's stomach is bothering them, or a horse just doesn't look right, or maybe a horse needs more time. You just have to listen to what they're telling you, and generally they'll try and do their best for you.
Chris Griffin took time out of his busy schedule to check in with jockey Andy Hernandez and to visit Mish Cuts, a local barber. Andy was a barber before he became a jockey, so take a look behind the scenes as everyone comes out looking a little bit sharper.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Feeling
man.
good? Looking
Yeah,
good?
yeah, everything good.
Working some horses this morning?
Yeah, every day. I like it every day.
We need a little bit of cut. Man, it's like yesterday. We've done this interview thing before, but we didn't do it like in the seat because you were cutting hair in Cuba and in Florida.
I see different people every day, you know. I got a lot of great conversation.
Sure.
Every day.
Yeah.
I like that.
My man Fernando is making sure you know.
I don't pay attention to the haircut because I know he's a good guy. He got talent for cut the hair.
And you love what you're doing, yeah? Everything's good?
Yeah.
Life is good?
Great. Life is good. Every day.
What were the conversations like? Was it a lot of sports with the barbers? Was it a lot of their life? What were they talking about?
Depends on what the client you have.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
If you want more client, he like the sport, he talk to the sport every time. Or the other client, he talk to the live.
Because you know, I talk. And I might talk a lot, right? But if
Yeah, I know it's talk a lot. The problem when you talk too much is your movie. He can't care. You know.
Do you feel like you're sitting like the way that you want to sit on a horse?
Before the end of the straight, the 3-8 pole,
Yeah.
you ask a little bit.
Okay.
And then he responds. When he responds, that's for you not lose the position, right? But when the end of the stretch is different because of the last asking you horse. When you ask him the end of the stretch and he responds strong, you say, oh man, I got the race.
That's right, when you won last year and you went into the stretch, because he's fast.
Yeah, I know.
Always fast early.
Yeah.
So can you feel them behind you? Can you look behind and kind of see them coming? I mean, we got the big screen too that you can see.
And the fast track, and the fast race is different on the long race. On the long race, you have a time for looking back, wait a little bit. But 5-pole on the curve is be aggressive, you know. Sometimes you can watch behind. You know, when end of the stretch, it's time they keep going. Before they open the gate, the horse is standing good, even though two leads in front is standing even, you know, and they break good. When the horse is broke good, if you have a chance of the race, it's great for me.
Being from Cuba, a lot of good food.
Woo, different.
But you gotta stay fit. Like, can you eat a lot of Cuban food, or do you have to stay away from
my
it?
wife is from Cuba. You know, they cooking Cuban food every day.
She takes care of it.
Yeah.
You know, do you have to watch it? Because jockeys gotta watch their weight and stay fit.
Tough on the one jockey, he got problem for the weight. You know, he take the sauna every day. You know, he can't eat too much.
Sure.
You know, it's dangerous. For me, I don't have problem for that. I eat meaty rice and bean every day.
You can eat it all you want.
Every day. When you see me in the kitchen and the jockey room, every jockey he look at me like this. He say, oh my God.
There he is eating
I'm
again.
eating everything.
Because I haven't eaten a lot of Cuban food, some Cuban food. But if you're gonna tell me I gotta eat Cuban food, what am I gonna eat?
Cuban sandwich.
A Cuban sandwich. How about
Put
a
a
cheesesteak?
lot.
You like cheesesteak?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You do?
Especially in Philly.
That was so interesting, and I have to say, your hair looks great.
Yeah, I was not going to miss an opportunity to get a cut as well. But yeah, hanging out with Andy Hernandez and getting to talk about his career. And our man Fernando really hooking it up. He's a big fan of racing too, so it was fun to hang out with the guys over at Mitch Cuts, which is right down the street. I mean, the jockeys, the trainers, they all go there. So I'm sure you'll be joining us on the next trip.
We'll see about that, but we do have some trivia coming up. That could even be a trivia question: is will I get my hair cut?
We'll find out here. Let's check it out on more on the rail.
open the BetParx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the energy of being all in, the passion of a perfect parlay, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's another opportunity to win big every day of the week. Sign up for BetParx and get a welcome offer today. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParx.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
For years, the Wager Warrior has protected our tracks. Now he's on a mission to help his fellow warriors win big. Let's see how it's going.
Boats Rockin' has been having a good run. He's definitely gonna show. Should I risk it on the win?
Hey you, over here. No, down here. Check out the past performances. I've sent them to your email. I was just trying to help. Go to penhorseracing.com/wagerwarriors to get your past performances today.
Welcome back to On the Rail. How'd you guys do on that trivia question? Hope you got it right. Hey, every single week here at Parks, we've got a great segment. It's called The Inside Track. You get an opportunity to learn about all kinds of things that go on the backside, the front side, and you get to meet some of the people that really put on not only horse racing, but take such good care of these horses every single day. Jessica Paquette does it right here at Parks. Your track announcer, she had an opportunity to catch up with the equine dentist. Who likes going to the dentist? I'm not a big fan of it, but we'll see. If the horses like it, check out more from the Inside Track on equine dentistry.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jessica Paquette here, joined with equine dentist Mark Cheshire for a look behind the scenes at some of the work that goes into keeping our equine athletes feeling their best. Now, Mark, explain to me what you're doing right now.
I'm filing the rough edges off the outside of her top teeth and the inside of the bottoms, because the top jaw is wider than the bottom and their teeth grow throughout life. So she's only 2 years old. She still has all of her baby teeth, and at this age they change real quick. Horses out here, a lot of them are 3 and 4 and whatever. We do them quite often because of their age. As the horse gets older, the growth slows down. So when hopefully by the time they're around 12, you do it once a year. But these guys, and when they're 3, they lose 12 baby teeth called caps. As a 4-year-old, 8 more, and as a 5-year-old, 4. So there's 24 baby teeth coming out in 2.5 years. So there's a lot of activity. They're running for a lot of money, and we just want to get them comfortable. And Eddie tells me this is a nice filly.
Now, is this uncomfortable for them, what you're doing, or do they not mind it?
It doesn't hurt. They don't have the same kind of nerves that we do, but she's real sweet. Most horses are pretty good for this. If we get a real bad one, we'll get it tranquilized, so that nobody gets killed.
Now, and tell me about how the filing of the teeth helps them get into the bit.
Well, with the sharp edges, they can get cut in there because the bit will pull the skin over these edges. But if I smooth it up, then it'll make the horse want to grab hold of the bit and go instead of, oh my God, I'm all cut up and everything. So, but we want them to eat and be comfortable with the bit, and that's all we're doing.
A good dentist makes a world of difference. I'm Jessica Paquette. This is Mark Cheshire, and this is the Inside Track.
That's why this show is so great, because not only do we have a lot of fun, we get to learn a lot about what's going on the backside, and equine dentistry, so important to the industry. And one thing you can say, no cavities for that horse.
And we never miss an opportunity for a good dad joke. We are looking forward to sharing many more stories of all of the folks that work on the backside that help keep our equine athletes healthy. And now we're going to give you a behind the scenes look with a trainer, Butch Reed, no stranger to winning races here at Parks. We go behind the scenes and watch him as he gets ready for a race, watch a race from a trainer's perspective, and listen to what he tells the jockey before the race.
It never gets old, I know that much. Every race is a new experience, especially with the 2-year-olds. That's where the promise is. See how they're acting coming up and such like that. So that's why I stand out here in the beginning. Make sure they're acting good. Well, a groom rubs 5 horses, and they're the responsible for getting them over here, have them looking good, have them all cleaned up, looking good for the owners, and make sure they're getting over here on time. They more or less live with the horses. They've been over there since 4 o'clock this morning getting them ready. So I'm lucky enough to have a lot of experience to help, and don't have to worry about them too much. They're all good at what they do, all very good at what they do. I mean, I've been over 10 times, but just making sure, no secrets. Not handicapping, but trying to see how I think the race will go. We go over it many times, starting from the minute the overnight comes out, and try and think of some sort of strategy.
The horses are now making their way onto the track.
What's your name again?
Bill.
Yeah. Up. All right, not too tight now. All right, give it a little turn, just a short one. All right, let's pop him at it a little bit, get him in the hunt a little bit, because he's got better speed than he's shown the first couple of times.
Okay.
And I don't care if you want to stay out there, lose a little ground, just stay out of the muck. All right? Yeah. Kind of a one pace to us, but he'll keep grinding for you. All right, get the money. Whoa. Easy now. All right, brother, go get him. I don't like to give the jocks a whole lot of instructions. Just basically thinking of how the race, I see the race setting up, and what any idiosyncrasies that the horse may have.
Long shot with the lead, checking boxes just a length off of him in second. Then it's Madarai at about 2 lengths over Standpoint, who's making his move in second. Pronadoon dropping back, checking boxes as well. Rallying late, but Madarai gets the win.
What do you think? No. Great. Good time to have a grass horse. All right, did everything okay? Yeah, okay. Thanks, Frankie. Yep. One step at a time. Takes a while to get them figured out. Unfortunately, Frankie says feels like a turf horse, but it's not a good time to have a turf horse in the Northeast. So we'll get him figured out, though, make sure everything's working. He's a horse with some ability. So every race is a learning experience. And then a learning experience for us and for him. So, it was the first time around 2 turns, and sometimes that second turn will kind of hit him in the head. So, but we like him. We'll keep working with him. We'll get him figured out.
Well, it's a shame that Butch Reed didn't have a winner in that race. It's always an interesting perspective to get an idea what a trainer is thinking before, during, and after a race. Now let's take a quick break, but before we do, let's take a look at some hype songs. Everyone needs to be pumped up once in a while, and our trainers and jockeys tell us what their favorite hype song is.
Anything like a rock and roll or hip hop, I just get you going. It's calypso that I listen to.
Rather be the hunter than the prey.
Salsa, romantic, salsa, yeah. I guess AC/DC, Back in Black.
It's Ronnie James Dio, We Rock.
Bad Bunny, Estamos Bien.
Like 80s, 90s rock, just to hype me up in the morning.
Welcome to the Jungle, Guns N' Roses.
Business, Tiesto.
Orange Blossom Special by the Flying Burrito Brothers.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
You're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the confidence and underdogs covering, the tension before a clutch turnover, and the pride of a parlay paying off. It's another chance to win big with all-day action. Plus, win your first $10 bet and get $125 in sports bonus bets. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
What is a hype song? What's my hype song? I don't know. I have to say, anything Taylor Swift at the moment, that's what gets me fired up first thing in the morning. Hey, on Wednesday, we had an opportunity to catch up with some of the connections on the backside, and one horse in specific. It was Sweet Wilhelmina. Trainer Scott Lake, he's a Hall of Fame trainer right here at Parks. He's had a career that spans over decades. Well, Sweet Wilhelmina has become one of his top career earners. They got her off of a claim, and she's done very well. And those are just the type of horses that we like to cover on War Horse Wednesday. So this is Jessica Paquette hanging out with Sweet Wilhelmina. Check out the feature here on the Rail.
Hi everyone, Jessica Paquette, joined here with trainer Scott Lake and Sweet Wilhelmina. This is War Horse Wednesday, and she is an absolute road warrior. 40 starts, 14 wins, and she just takes her show on the road. What's it like having a horse like this in the barn who is so consistent?
She's an absolute dream. She does everything you want her to do. Nothing bothers her. Her groom Todd just loves all over her all the time, and she's fantastic.
She's wonderful. She wants her peppermints in the morning, and she knows it. And she's spoiled rotten. She does sweet potatoes, mangoes, peppermints, carrots, anything she can get.
Now, you've gotten to go to a lot of places with her. Saratoga, Churchill, Mahoning Valley last time out for a win.
It's been tough finding spots for her, and that's why we went to Mahoning.
Now, with these warrior horses, do you think it's tougher to keep a mare in form than it is a gelding?
I think for most people it is. For me, it's always been kind of our forte. The fillies run for me, so we've been very fortunate, so she's been good.
This is Sweet Wilhelmina. This is Scott Lake. I'm Jessica Paquette, and it is War Horse Wednesday.
Always great to see our war horses here on the backside right here at Parks. Those veteran type horses that I know that you love so much. They've got a ton of heart, and they are just some of our favorite and our best equine athletes.
And now let's shift to our human athletes. We're going to take a look at our By the Numbers segment where we look at the jockey and trainer standings as the race for leading rider and leading trainer is underway.
Yeah, it's really heating up here as you get towards the end of the year. Everybody's kind of going back and forth, and the race has gotten a little bit tighter. So let's see who's going to end up with, like you said, the trainer and those jockey titles right here at Parks. It's By the Numbers. Michael Sanchez currently leading in the jockey standings. You saw there on By the Number. Should be able to kind of have a little bit of a race to the finish, but probably ends up as the top jock. And then Jamie Ness looks like he's going to run away with the trainer's title as well. We still have to see what happens in the month of December, but we've got some fun coming up in the month of December as well.
December is a very exciting month, and that about wraps up On the Rail for today. But we'll be back December 23rd, and I'm really looking forward to the show we put together. We have a Warhorse segment, an inside track, and a look at trainer Jordan Bullock, a local trainer, a local connection with an incredible story of how he found his way to the racetrack.
We're going to still be in our same spot, 10:30 on that Saturday. Let's Go Racing is going to look a little bit different. As is tradition, they're going to have the Smarty Jones episode, probably the most famous Pennsylvania bred. That'll be joining us before us at 10 o'clock, and then we'll be on at 10:30. As always, right back here on the Rail. I'm Chris Griffin.
And I'm Jessica Paquette. Thanks for watching.